Welcome everyone to the ASPA podcast. Today we are with John Davis. He is Senior Vice President of Q360 Partnerships and Business Development. Hello, John, and thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Karen. Thank you. Well, I'm John Davis, Senior Vice President of Q360 Partnerships and Business Development, and I have been with the company for 14 years, have played a lot of different roles, and this being my most current and really probably my most favorite is this new product that we have, which is Q360 Workforce Solutions that we're super proud of.
So today we are going to talk about Q360 and how you guys help districts manage. So when you look at how school districts are currently managing contracted staffing, what do you believe is fundamentally not working, and why has it stayed that way for so long?
Well, it's not really the fault of the schools. So 10 or 15 years ago, we wouldn't be having this conversation about staffing. Um, Outside vendor use has become more proliferate in the use of school districts, and it's really fragmented throughout the district so that there really isn't any one point of truth. So the vendors are coming in either through HR or they're coming in through student services or the SPED department. And so there really isn't like one point of truth or knowledge, which is why we created Q360 Workforce Solutions. So we were listening to our customers' pain points, which was what they were saying was, I have my own job and now I'm trying to manage all these vendors. But what we're giving them is a viable option to maintain that workforce ecosystem that they've created. So, but let's put it all in one house where everyone has visibility into kind of who and what is entering the district. So inside the program or inside the platform, we're going to streamline processes. We're going to consolidate and govern rates. We're going to provide a layer of protection for credentialing and background checks, and then unburdening that administrative staff that's in the district that's managing those vendors.
Mm-hmm.
We'll also put in cost saving measures. For example, we can govern rates to prevent rate creep. We can geofence for time theft prevention. We have a level up program that's designed for behaviors and to prevent outside placement, which can be very costly. And so it's a full service program depending on what the district needs, and we can customize.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say, how is Q360 different from a traditional staffing agency or MSP model?
Well, okay, so our beginning happened in 2002, and we started with a traditional staffing line that's called Quantum Education Professionals, and it was to serve schools for those hard to fill positions and open positions. And our sister company, Q360, was born in 2020 to be a managed service provider for districts. And what sets us apart is our leadership staff is made up of clinicians and educators since its origin. So we have firsthand knowledge of how schools operate, what they go through on a day-to-day basis. And then we didn't steal anything from the medical model and kind of try to shove it on a district like most of the recent newcomers in this space. But we retained a software company called Blue Sky to assist us in customizing a platform that we built, and we piloted Q360 with a school district in Kansas City for 2 years. And then out of that design, we feel like it's the best thing on the market for districts that are dealing with outside vendor contracts.
Mm-hmm. And how does Q360 help districts manage multiple vendors without losing visibility or control?
Well, visibility is actually increased through the vendor management system, Blue Sky. So we're going to create a district profile that's created so their leadership can have access. And we will have it all in all of their locations of the district buildings, all their start and end times, all the companies that are providing services, what personnel is working in the district and where are they. We have a timekeeping system so we can see who's clocked in and clocked out. And all this information can be found on the district's landing page, or what we call the dashboard. So there's all types of reporting that can be customized for the district. So Q360 needs to be just looked at as an extension or an add-on feature for the district. The district has all the decision making. We're working really at the pleasure of the district and what they're trying to accomplish. We just remove all the noise and the frustration with working with multiple companies. And then we'll hand leadership this, nice package of a vetted candidates to consider. We relay kind of district decisions and communication through our VMS. We give them a consolidated invoice, single invoice versus multiple. And then the district retains really all the control, and they have transparency into every single position that's outside of their own district hires.
Mm-hmm. And as of the process, what happens behind the scenes when a district partners with Q360?
Yeah, this is really the fun part because there's immediate collaboration with the district leadership, really to begin unloading their burden into Q360, and we're giving them back control into that workforce ecosystem. So we provide out of our resources an account manager, and that account manager is going to have a background in education. We have a credentialing and a vendor management team that begins working behind the scenes to get really all the fragmentation of all those other companies they're working with under one roof, so that we have one source of truth for all the information that's needed to serve that district and the students properly. And then we also work with HR and an accounts payable team to customize all the credentialing and the invoicing to make life easier on those departments. And while that's going on, we're diving into what positions are open uh, or need to be filled and establishing with the district, what process of communication do they want for supplying candidates, interviewing, all the way to placement.
Mm-hmm.
And the account manager really is going to become the district leadership's best friend.
Okay, and so what do you think districts should be thinking about staffing differently over the next 3 or 5 years from now?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think really, I think everyone just needs to acknowledge that the teacher shortage isn't going away. And so what are we going to do? Not all school districts are going to need Q360 or an MSP, but if there's something that we've been talking about strikes a nerve, then we should probably have a conversation and see if Q360, is a solution that makes sense. I think I think districts typically say, well, this is the way we've always done it. And they're right, and they haven't had another viable option until now. We have 30 or so national companies that work under the Q360 umbrella already, so we can scale for them. So let's say this year they have 15 contracted positions, but next year that's going to be 30 or 40 positions. Um, then really their go-to is like, well, we need to retain more companies where Q360 already has that workforce signed up. We can scale immediately. We can reduce the burden that would fall on the HR or that SPED department in that district. A lot of districts will do RFPs each year or like every 3 years for their staffing partners. And Q360 is a continuous RFP. We scorecard the companies that are representing the district, and if they're not good players, then we can replace them. And we collaborate with the district on rates and spends, so that's mutually agreed upon. What are the market rates for personnel? So we've just really simplified the outsourcing process.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And so to finish the conversation, what do you think are some common misconceptions that districts have before they engage with Q360?
Yeah, I would say the first, the biggest is the district will say we're in a budget crisis. What is this going to cost the district? Um, and Q360 is a vendor funded platform, so there isn't a cost to the district, and we designed that intentionally. Um, I would say another one is like are all MSPs equal? And they're not at all. So I would say districts need to do their research, explore companies that have favorable references, that they're nimble, customizable for the district. They've had a proven track record of being respected in the education space, and not just some medical based company that's just jumping into a new frontier. Um, Another is, I don't want to lose the workforce that we have. We like these relationships. So, we really like company A, or we want employee B to return. And Q360 is an open MSP. So we adopt these companies the district already has a relationship with. We want to retain them and the personnel into that same ecosystem. So, we don't want to prevent, or we want to prevent disruptions of relationships and student services.
Mm-hmm.
And then we already hit on a couple of others. that they will lose control or lose visibility. And Q360 really just provides the opposite. They will never have had as much control or visibility into that external workforce. Um, they're going to be in a position actually to control the vendors versus the vendors controlling the district.
Okay, perfect. John, I want to thank you for joining us today. And
Absolutely.
we hope
Thank
to
you
have
for
you back
having
at
me.
some point.
Sure. Would love to.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.